Hello everyone. Just to let you know, I'm making a video right now on um, my thoughts on Path of Exile 2 as a non-Path of Exile 1 veteran. So there are a few things with Endgame that actually bugs me. Number one, item drops with RNG on top of RNG is not fun. That's one of them. All right, now that's out of the way. Um, the second one is endgame items rolling with T1 stats. I'm not saying the same set of stats or rolls that are generally low tier. Like, for example, your plus to all minions is only a T4 skill, right? So that's not what I'm saying. So if you get a hammer, with a plus 5 to strength is not very fun if you're in endgame. So I don't really mind if the stats are all over the place as long as they are at the proper tier, right? It's a bit more fun to see I don't know, 60, 80 strength or maybe 100 strength that you don't really want or need rather than just seeing, 5 strength, right? It's no fun at all. So that's the second thing. Um, the third thing is I would like to see the game implement some kind of skill transparency for you in your body. Because sometimes everything is a mess when you're playing the game, and the whole floor is covered in effects and everything else. So giving us the ability to make some skills or these skills, transparent for you or your party members could help a lot in seeing where the red, circles are on the floor or the purple ones, if you know what I mean. Keeps you from getting one shot. That's one of the things. Or just give us the option to turn off all skill effects. That'll be great as well. So that's the third one. The fourth one is that party play is typically non-existent, right? Aside from helping friends, kill act bosses or help them through their ascension, basically there's no party play. Everyone plays their own maps and everything else, which is a bit of a bummer because if you come from other games, you know which games they are, they encourage party play. And it's a really good experience, to play with friends and everything else. This is why you go online and play, right? You don't go online and just chat with your friends while you play solo. I would rather, play with my friends. So, in lieu of this, one of the few things I would suggest is to have all loot in a party be individual. I see my loot, you see your loot, right? And if I pick up anything you need, I can just drop it or trade it to you after the run. I think that's a much better experience than, you across the map, a divine orb drops and somebody picks it up and can't say anything. All right? You don't want to ruin friendships over stuff like that. But because some currencies are very, very expensive, mirror, so, it's a bit hard, right? Some people would rather play solo, so when it drops for them, it's theirs, right? There's no, talking about whose drop it was at the start. So I would rather have it that way, so you don't see my drops. I don't see your drops. If you think I need something that drops for you, you can just ask me and trade it to me or give it to me, sell it to me, whatever, right? I think that's that will make for a much more better experience from a party perspective. Plus, you can also add XP buffs and drop rate buffs for every additional member in the party. Of course, the game scales the difficulty according to the number of party members, but the more people, the faster you finish a map, and the more loot, the more XP, everyone's happy, right? Well, that's just my take on it. So let me know what you think. You can put them down in the comments, see if I missed anything. Oh, and going back to the items on RG and RNG, what I would like to suggest is, um, you have this fracture um, item, which will lock one of the stats, right? Why don't we reverse that? Even if it's random or it could be a choice, I would rather be make it a choice rather than random. But this item right here, let me just go in there. You do have your currencies. This one, this little item here, fracture, will fracture an item like this one, and it will keep that stat for you, right? It's marked in gold. So what I would suggest is that the fracture item would act in reverse, right? So that stat will be the one that's going to be re-rolled when I re-roll, even if it's random. So at least I know the item's trash if it's a really important stat, or I hit the jackpot, and then I can start re-rolling, right? To get a better roll of something else. So if I get, I get the spirit, I get the minion skills, I can just start re-rolling and using up my currency until I get a good roll. For me, that's a better experience than, having that one locked and then, not even have a choice which one it is. And then everything's up for grabs. So that's one of the things. All right. Or you can also have a different option, like, lock a specific, prefix or suffix, or you can, be creative in how you want to do it. It's up to GGG anyway and how they want to do it. But, you know, that's just a suggestion for me. Last one is that loot is very, very underwhelming. Right? You have your maps, and this is everything. Right? You have your stats. Let's pick a map with, yeah, there you go. So you have a lot of stuff in there. What I would like to see is to change this one by making certain things intrinsic, right? So you have your waystone drop chance at the top, which is intrinsic, and then you can have other things like increased gold found, increased item drop rate, increased rarity. Those things will be at the top. Now, those things will depend on what the bottom parts are. So for every debuff you get, or every buff the monsters get, as an equivalent value at the top. Alright, so let's just say you get enfeeble, then you get, let's just say, plus 15 or 20% more XP. Right? Or if you get, let's just say, temporal chains, which I think everybody hates. Let's just say you get a 25% rarity item buff drop rate, right? So that's just an example of how things will work. I would rather have it that way. So instead of just trashing an actual map, I can now, play with my maps, use it, pump in as many debuffs as I want, right? Or negatives for me as a player, things that I can take, and then run with the map. I would rather do that, knowing that if I finish this map, I get this much XP boost, this much gold boost, this much item rarity boost, and whatever other, intrinsic GGG decides to put up there. Well, that's it for me. I hope you liked the video, and if you have any other comments or you have any other ideas, if you can put them in the comments below, I'd reply to them as soon as I can. And I hope you're enjoying Path of Exile 2, Wild Hunt, and keep throwing those lightning spears. Alright, thanks guys.